Hey guys, welcome in to the Outspoken Sportscast here. This is your host, Brian and Jeff. We are on episode number 108, guys. How have we been? How have we been this week? We are finally, for you NBA fans, we are finally talking some NBA basketball here, Jeff. In the spotlight of the week, your team's doing a
we
lot better
are.
than mine, buddy. But we'll get into that.
It's
Here
it's it's
now.
been some interesting. There's a lot of basketball stuff going on. Got NCAA. Getting into the Final Four. I think did Duke win today? They
I have no
beat.
idea. I
Go ahead
don't
and check that. But
pay
yeah, it's
attention too much to the NCAA.
some people do. Some people bet on it.
Yeah.
Some people get into it. So I mean, it's
Oh, it's
actually kind of
big.
interesting.
It's big,
Coach
especially when
K
the
is like the end of his.
yeah.
He's retiring. So a lot of people are rooting for Duke to win it. So just on that
Did they play
alone.
today? I thought they. I don't.
I think they played today. I think they said Duke moved on, but I'm not quite sure. That's something we could check. But yeah, there's a lot of people that pay attention to it. I think because they do betting on it, or they'll do like kind of like a how we do fantasy football or something like that. They'll do stuff like that. So, but yeah, on top of that, you got NBA stuff, exciting.
You're
Not
getting
for
ready
Brian.
We're getting ready to go in the playoffs. Definitely not for me. This has been a joke of a season. Actually, real quick, the Blue Devils are in the Final Four. So
Yes, they are in the Final
Coach
Four.
K, I believe they face the North Carolina, the biggest. One of
Okay,
the biggest
North Carolina.
rivals.
Okay, so that maybe they haven't played yet. I thought they had played already, but
to go
maybe not.
into the championship. So this is, not to get into NCAA here, but Coach K's could be his last season, or it is his last season. It could be his last game. He could win he could go out on top, win the whole thing. So, but back to the NBA here, Jeff. And I do want to apologize. We should have gotten the NBA a little bit earlier, but a lot of people, this is when
There
the
was
NBA,
there was so much NFL
football.
stuff. Oh my god, dude.
There
Like,
is,
there
and
was so much.
it's still coming out, and that's why we love the NFL. But a lot of fans really don't watch the whole season NBA, or right now is kind of when they settle into it, when the playoffs are starting to begin, and we're getting down to the nitty gritty here. Every game, the Lakers fall out of the playoff spot, they fall back into it, they fall out of it, they fall back into it, and it's been really an embarrassment of a season for them. But we'll get into that in a little bit here. The Eastern Conference, Jeff. Right now, Miami's leading the pack. They've got a half a game lead over Milwaukee for the number one seed, and I think the Heat have been a team that I don't know if many expected to be at this position at the beginning of the season. A decent team, a good team. Would they be number one? I didn't think so. The team I like right now the most is the Milwaukee Bucks. I think Giannis is on fire. He is scoring, putting up points. He's posterizing people. Not only that, Jeff, he's shooting 3-point shots. He said he wanted to take that narrative away from him that he's just a dunk kind of guy. He can do a little bit of everything, and we've seen him grow as a player, and he is fantastic to watch there in Milwaukee. I think they're the favorite in the East. I really like them. Boston's been pretty good this year. Philadelphia, adding James Harden. We got some really good teams here. And Chicago's pretty talented too. The East looked pretty good. We all know, though, the West is probably the favorite in a lot of different areas. But the Cleveland Cavaliers are in the seventh seed. They're beating the Brooklyn Nets right now. And the Brooklyn Nets have fallen off with the whole Kyrie Irving debacle drama, not playing because he's not vaccinated, can't play in this stadium. It's been the trade of James Harden. They get in what's his face? They get in Ben Simmons. He can't play because he's got a back issue. It's been a kind of a crazy season for them, and not as smooth as they would like it. And just a lot of stuff going on in the NBA, especially in the Eastern Conference. But is there a team that you look at and you say this one I kind of feel like I'm leaning towards to kind of go on a big run in the playoffs?
Outside of a bias, I'm going to probably
Hey, we don't
say
do bias on this podcast. This is real talk here.
no one can deny Phoenix. Phoenix has got an insane
I
record.
said Eastern Conference.
Oh, Eastern Conference.
We'll get the Western
it's
Conference
definitely the Bucks. It's definitely the Bucks. Everyone keeps talking about them. Everyone is basically picking them to win the whole thing. The Brooklyn Nets are the one problem behind that, and the reason why I think maybe we should take that with a little grain of salt is because the conditioning with Kyrie Irving, you're out so long. You cannot. I mean, how do you condition yourself to be playing high elite basketball now? When you've
Right.
missed quite a bit of games, and so it's weird. You run the risk of James Harden and how is gonna be able to trust some of those other players in the playoffs. I don't know. It's still a relatively new environment for him. But then you got Giannis. He knows. They all know. They won last year. It's basically the same crew.
Right.
They know each other well. They play well with each other. They know each other's in and out. So it's like they're the most cohesive team that is basically the same team that was put together last year, minus maybe a few people that left or whatever during free agency, but nothing crazy. And it's kind of like when you have Golden State at its peak, when everyone's healthy, everyone's in there. That's the kind of danger that you run into with the Bucks. They know exactly how each one of each other's plays, and they know how to build what each one of each other's weaknesses and strengths. So they all kind of coalesce together and pick up one another. And so whether it's Giannis doing what he's doing or anybody else, I think when it comes to the Bucks, that's one of the reasons why people keep saying they're got to be one of the favorites in the finals, if not the favorite to win. So
Right. And you're
definitely,
definitely right with the group that they have. They brought back, and the Boston Celtics have changed up a little bit. Philadelphia's changed huge. The Nets have changed huge. We don't even know what the Cleveland Cavaliers are. Miami stayed the same quite a bit. They did bring in some talent. Um, they're well coached. I don't know if Miami
I like
can.
Chicago. The other day, the one of the main guys on there shot 50 points.
Yeah.
They have a really good talented roster in Chicago, and I think that should not. There should also be that to take into account. There could be a sleeper team coming in there and really giving the Bucks a run for their money. I don't think they'll beat them, but I do think there'll be some team in here that no one's really expecting.
Right. Well, and you can never count Brooklyn out. I think when
That's
when
true.
when
You
they're
can't.
healthy,
Right.
they have 2 stars. Ben Simmons won't be there this year. We'll see him next season. But when those 2 stars play, they can put up points in a hurry. I don't think we can count them out yet.
Yeah,
The
that's
Atlanta
true.
Hawks were really good last year. They're in this 10th seed right now, fighting for that play-in
They're a
spot.
feisty team too. So if
They
they
are a
get
feisty
in, they're
team.
really going to give people some trouble. Probably push them
Now,
to a brink.
I do like Chicago's roster. I think I think honestly the Eastern Conference will come down to Milwaukee and the 76ers. And I just don't know if anybody can stick 7 games with the Milwaukee Bucks. The way they're playing, the way Giannis is playing, um, it's MVP level. He has been talked favorite for the MVP, or is he the best player in the NBA? Joel Embiid has a really good resume for the beat MVP this year, and he's been playing lights out. And him and James Harden have been working together a lot better than I expected to at first. Um, but they're figuring out how to work with each other, and that can be difficult when you get 2 stars together. Figuring out how to combine your talents together and what you work with best. But Joel Embiid has been playing lights out this season. So I think the East is getting better in the NBA because a long time ago it's West dominance, West, 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 and the East maybe had 2 teams. We're starting to see a fluctuation of talent go to Boston and Chicago. Chicago's got a really good roster. Cleveland's built their way back into, hey, this team is. I'm not saying going to compete for a championship, but they are a lot better than we expected them to be in the 7th seed. So the East is looking up. The East is looking up. I still think it is Milwaukee Bucks and Giannis's Eastern Conference to win, though.
Yeah, I don't think anyone ever is thinking at all otherwise when it comes to the Bucks. I think the odds are favorite, even coming into the season. So because they won, so
I mean, I think everybody jumped on that Nets bandwagon and projected them and the Lakers to be up there, and that hasn't kind of worked out for either one right now. I mean, it does look like the Nets will be in the play-in game to make playoffs, and the Los Angeles
I
right now, as it sits, is out. So,
I had
um,
I don't know. It's not like I didn't. It's not like I didn't see it coming, but I did have doubts with LA. Um, something was
Well,
off with it, and I'm not quite sure
it's Wes
if it was
Westbrook.
because they added so many
Older players.
older guys. It's kind of like when you watch a movie and you see like, oh, it's got Brad Pitt, it's got Angelina Jolie, it's got J Lo, it's got and you're just kind of like, great, but is it any good? And then you come to find out none of these people have any chemistry, and you're just going, well, I guess we watched all of those actors on the same screen, but the movie was horrible. It's just like, that's kind of what I got out of that when they were doing all those moves, and I'm like, that sounds awesome, but
Well,
you
look, Jeff,
know,
I am one of the few Laker fans that I talk to or my friends that thought this Westbrook trade would fail. I when we traded for Westbrook, I didn't like it. We traded away a lot of young players. We traded away some key players. We traded away some good young talent. We gave up guys that played really well with LeBron James to get Russell Westbrook, who LeBron tried to trade halfway through the season. Okay, Jeannie Buss said no to LeBron. Um, Russell Westbrook has never played well with others, no matter where he went. No matter where he went. So I don't know why they thought they could bring him in here and make him work well with two other guys. Here's the problem with the Lakers, Jeff. I'll tell you this. LeBron's too old to carry a team on his back. Russell Westbrook doesn't play well with the others, and his feelings are sharp and soft, okay? And Anthony Davis is nicknamed as street clothes because we don't see him on the court. He's as soft as toilet paper. That's your problem with the Lakers. When is the
I
team?
did bring that up when you got Anthony Davis. I said he's got to stay
Oh,
healthy.
he's had health issues. When is the team? This team that they brought in together played. How many games has the roster that they meant to going into the season actually stepped on court together? It's
I
not
don't
very
know.
many.
It's probably on one hand.
It's not very many. It's a joke. This is one of the worst teams I've watched. They don't. It seems like they don't care, and people want to give LeBron James a pass. No, this is not. This is not. And I'm not saying LeBron James is playing bad basketball,
He's on the verge of
but
getting a scoring title.
he is the GM. He calls the shots. He brought in this roster. He is to blame. AD is to blame, and Russell Westbrook. I can't blame Russell Westbrook. How can we blame Russell Westbrook? He does this everywhere he goes. It doesn't fit. We can't blame Russell Westbrook. This is LeBron James' issue. This is Anthony Davis' issue. Anthony Davis issue, and this is a Frank Vogel issue. And it's something that I hope at the end of the season something happens. I trade LeBron James. I don't care. I don't care at this point. Something's got to change
Well, they're
because
definitely getting rid of the coach. I can
not
guarantee that.
not making the playoffs right now, and they can still make it. Is nowhere near the standard, especially when they just added another star, Westbrook, and the other two. It's unacceptable.
The question you have to ask yourself is, will Phil come back?
I hope so. I'll take him any day of the week.
Do you think Phil can turn this roster around?
No.
Say they keep everyone.
LeBron won't. No, they won't. And LeBron won't work with Phil Jackson because
Why?
Phil Jackson will want to take control.
Mm.
But
I mean, maybe that's the thing that needs to change. I know they really wanted Jason Kidd, and they got rid of Jason Kidd and brought in that dude who's now coaching your team now, and look what's going on. It's just, I don't know.
Well, I mean, Jason Kidd worked under Frank Vogel. LeBron liked Jason Kidd a lot.
Right.
I don't know.
I think, and again, it's funny because like they're having success, and a lot of it is, yeah, you got Luka doing what he's doing, but Jason Kidd's also subbing guys in, taking guys out, switching the lineup up mid game, taking people out that are not hitting, like things like that. He's making the right moves as a coach, and also allowing Luka to do what he does. So it's interesting.
Jason Kidd has actually proven some doubters wrong. This season so far, right? The Mavs are in
Right.
the third seed right now. Let's get into the Western Conference here. The Mavs are in the third seed. We got to give credit where credit's due. Nico Harrison is 1 of 1 on his trades. This trade that he made with Porzingis, I was like, well, they traded away Porzingis. Porzingis was a complete flop in Dallas. He is Anthony Davis 2.0, not on the court. And when he was on the court, he wasn't a true superstar. Okay, they'd make the trade. And I go, well, they're getting a couple guys, but I don't know. These couple guys stepped in and played well for this team and been able to mesh well with Luka and play well. And they've had other guys step up and Finney Smith and players like that have stepped up and played well and been more consistent this season with this Mavs roster and Luka Doncic at the helm. And kudos to Jason Kidd. He's done a fantastic job. They still got to prove they can get over that hump in the playoffs, and we'll see if they can. Do I think they are a legitimate championship threat? I do not, though. I don't think they're going to beat Phoenix in 7 games. I don't think they'll match up well with Denver in 7 games.
You
The
never
Golden
know,
State
man.
Warriors in 7
You
games.
never know, man.
No, I know.
It's
I know.
a
I know you
they
could.
could easily surprise some teams,
No.
and
Look,
everybody's like,
look.
"What?" You know.
No,
So
you can. You can say that about every single season, and you never know. We never knew the Bengals were going to be in the NFL. I'm just giving you
right,
my opinion.
yeah.
I don't think they are a championship team at this point. Are they moving forward? I think they need a couple more pieces. Be fantastic. They're definitely moving in the right direction. They're already in the 3rd seed. They've already clinched the playoff berth.
Well, we
They're
see what too
they're
many
looking
pieces.
well.
We see what happens when you have too many pieces. Los Angeles.
Well, it's when you add Russell Westbrook in with
you got Carmelo
crybaby LeBron
Anthony. You got
and Angel Soft, but we're done
oh
talking about
my
the
goodness.
Lakers. We know they're a joke. All right, we don't talk about jokes on this podcast. All right, let's get some serious business. Anyways, no, my gosh, Suns guys, they've only lost 14 games this season.
Yeah, they
Can
clinched, and when they clinched, all of a sudden I saw the news, and I'm like, "What? Huh?"
Yeah.
I was like, "Already?"
Best league record. They're looking really good, and that's not even the surprise though in the Western Conference. The Memphis Grizzlies. Are you kidding me? Number 2, the Memphis Grizzlies. Fantastic. Fantastic. They're 54-23. They've won 6 games in a row. The Suns have won 9 games in a row. This team is fun to watch. They've got a lot of young stars. And I can't forget the number 1 star's name. Jamal, or what's his name? How do you pronounce it? Jamon Moore? Ja
Yeah.
Morant.
No.
Ja
Yeah,
Morant.
you're
My
right.
bad.
You're right.
My bad. Yeah. No, he's a beast. He's really fun to watch, this team. And are they there yet to go and compete? Maybe. I don't know. I think they're really young. And we're gonna have to see when the playoffs hit. Like, I don't trust the Utah Jazz ever in the playoffs. They could be number 1 seed. They're number 1 seed last year. They always lose. I don't trust them this season either. The Denver Nuggets are gonna have to show me something. They've got a very talented team. I don't trust them either. Golden State Warriors could be there. Steph Curry is going to miss the rest of the season, Jeff. He's hopefully be back in the playoffs, so that could hurt them a lot. They've missed Draymond Green as well. What I think
He's
Phoenix
still
is,
out?
I didn't say no, he's back, but they missed him for some time this season.
Okay. I was like, he's supposed to be back by now.
What I think the Phoenix Suns are doing is they've learned to win without Chris Paul being there all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Chris Paul, when he missed in the playoffs, when he got hurt last year, it really hurt this team. And when he was out, it hurt this team. And
getting shoved in the back.
I think they're kind of finding a groove without him, and they've got some young talent. Their coach is fantastic. I really like this team. Will they win it all? We don't know. They could. They went last year. Still, again, if they go again, I don't think they match up well with Giannis. I don't think it's the guy they really want to face. The Golden State Warriors could heat up if they get healthy. Denver Nuggets, the LA Clippers, they're sitting in the A seed. Do we want to count them out with the talent they've got? I don't think so. I'm not. The
They're
Pelicans
missing
are no.
Kawhi.
The Pelicans are nobody. San Antonio Spurs are not going to win. The Timberwolves are not going to win. I think we can go ahead and count that out in the Utah Jazz. But you got some other teams there that are really good. I think the Mavericks will win their first round. Right now, as
First
it
round, they're playing
sits,
Denver.
oh, well, that's tough. Denver's a tough one with Jokic.
I could see that going 6 to
Oh,
7 games.
that's a
Because
7-game series
mainly
probably.
because we have beat that team. We've beaten Jokic and them, and so I think we beat them here actually. And so yeah, I mean, I think maybe even during the season we may have split. I'm not quite sure. So it's kind of, I think that they match up better than most people think. Um, each team. So it's interesting. I think you're going to have a show. That's for sure. It's definitely going to be an exciting series. Um,
That's tough.
and
It's a
yeah, it's going
coin
to be
flip.
tough. But again, it's going to be tough throughout for Dallas and any team really,
Yeah,
except
playing in the
unless
Western
you're.
Conference.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, it's a tough. There's a lot of tough teams going in there throughout the season. We beat up on Utah. We beat up on Denver. We beat up on Golden State with Curry. Without, I mean, I think with Curry, even with Thompson as well. He was in there, but they just didn't have Joel Embiid. But
or
but
Green,
other than that, huh?
Draymond
Oh,
Green.
Draymond Green. Yeah, Joel. I'm the one I'm talking about. But Draymond Green. And so it's interesting. I'm really interested and curious of how the Mavs will adjust to adversity, like when they lose a game, what happened in that game where they lost, like what will Jason Kidd do the next game to change things up. Carlisle was really good about kind of stuff like that, and I just want to see how Kidd responds to that. But everyone's gunning for Phoenix. It seems like obviously they're going to want to try to go after them and take them out as soon as they can or whatever. Outside of Phoenix, there's not a whole lot of teams that scare me. You could say that Denver, even with who they have, they're scary to some degree. They've been beatable this year. Um, Utah's been beatable this year. Memphis is a little, not Memphis.
I think they're young. Memphis. They're a little
Yeah, Memphis.
young.
They are a little worrisome. I think that's the youngness, the inexperience will probably play a factor in that. But it's like there's not a whole lot. Even Golden State, doesn't really scare me as a Maverick fan. It doesn't bother me. We've beaten them multiple times, beaten them in Golden State. We beat them in Denver. And sometimes we beat them pretty badly. So it's just, it's interesting. How well is Steph Curry going to be back? Is he ready? Is he one ankle roll away from being out of the playoffs? Who knows, man? Like, this is a crazy thing, but when it comes to this, Phoenix is really the one team that I'm like, that's a scary one right there. But these other teams, I'm kind of like, yeah, we've beaten these teams. We kind of know what these teams can do and what they're capable of.
I want to give a shout out real quick to Sean Sharif, 105.3 The Fan. I really enjoy listening to his work on the radio. But I need to send you the link. He talks about how that he talks about how the Mavs aren't championship series or championship team and goes into why and stuff. It's pretty interesting. Listen. But
yeah, like I look at it this way, like we weren't a championship team against Miami, right? And then that same year we weren't a championship team against Popovich and the Spurs. And we weren't a championship against the Lakers and Phil Jackson's last season.
but you don't have those. You don't have the veteran roster you had then. But
I don't know about that. That was a makeshift roster. It wasn't like it was
veteran
a super
guys
team.
though.
It wasn't.
I'm not saying super team, but you had veteran players.
I'm telling you, dude. I think the NBA is a different thing, man.
Together.
It seems like these old guys are not cutting it anymore, man. It's a young game. Look at what's going on. Look at Phoenix.
Yeah, when you got young talent.
But I mean, look at it. It's not like there are a bunch of veterans out there. I mean,
there's lots of veterans out there. What are you talking
about? But so KD would be considered LeBron. He's considered a veteran. Look how that team's constructed up. A bunch of veterans. Jokic, really?
Yes.
I don't know.
Jokic's a veteran.
Yes. I don't know. How long has he been in the league, Brian?
Let me look that up. But long enough to be considered a veteran of the NBA. I guarantee you that.
I don't know. So on top of all that, look at the Lakers, full of veterans. What happened?
Well, they're
Nothing.
I already told you they're
I
old,
know, I get it, but I think
and
when
just
it
because you're
comes to what's
old
going on,
doesn't mean you're good.
no, it doesn't. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think a lot of these young guys are not afraid to do stuff, not afraid to take chances, not afraid to take risks. The interesting part about the Mavericks is they don't rely solely on Luca, and he facilitates the ball in a way where he allows other players that are open for a shot that give them a chance to do something just outside of the fact that he can do what he can do. We already know what Luca can do. It's all about also giving these other players a chance as well, which he does very well. And it's, again, will it work every time? No. And that's okay. Like, I think the thing is Luca at least giving his other teammates an opportunity to also be good. And I think because he plays so well, they feed off that. It's kind of like the Peyton Manning effect, right? Where you would have a guy, you step on the court, everyone wanted to play well because he's on the freaking field. It's the same thing with Michael Jordan. I'm not comparing Luka to Michael, of course. No one is. But when he's on the field, that team's better. When he's on the court, that team's better. When LeBron playing in Cleveland, they were better because of him. And it's like, and then I think it's a lot of it is the same thing with Luka, and you could say that the same thing with Phoenix and Booker.
Oh yeah,
You could obviously
good
Giannis makes that
players
team
get
better, but
yes.
but those other players have to play. Can't just be Giannis. We see it with the Nets, dude. We saw it last year in the playoffs with the Nets with KD. Look what happened. He had to do it on his own, and they didn't go anywhere because nobody else on that team is worth a crap.
Yeah, I know exactly, but the Mavericks don't have much of anything else. That's what I'm saying here.
They have a lot of scrappy young players that can.
Yes,
I'm
but
telling you right.
they're not going to go. I don't think they're going to go into Phoenix or Denver or Golden
We
State
haven't
and
really
win
seen
7
them play
games.
Phoenix this year. I don't think we've really seen the Mavericks play Phoenix, but maybe
Or they're
once.
not going to go and beat a 7-game series. I'm just saying. I'm not dissing the Mavericks. I'm just saying I don't think they're going to win the championship this year.
Right, but again,
or a championship caliber team at this moment. Are they playing well? Yes. If Luka's a top 3 player in the NBA, in my opinion.
Right.
Top 5.
But you don't have to. My thing is I have a feeling that the era of super teams is coming to a crash. It is not an existing thing anymore. I think people are still trying to clamor to it. Los Angeles, they're trying to clamor to that, right? If we add who so and so, so and so, and so and so, guess what? We're going to win a championship. And I think eventually that bubble has bursted, and badly. So teams want to have players under control, under contractual control, that aren't as expensive. And if they can find that talent without having to sit there and chase down free agents that, oh, well, I want to go there. No, I don't want to go there. No, I'm going to go over here last minute. Like, no, like, who wants to do that? And I think a lot of NBA teams now are starting to realize maybe it's not worth this headache. Like, allow them to go wherever they think they need to go. And if we get them, great. If we don't, doesn't matter, because we're not going to structure our team around 3 guys that may or may not get along. That happened with the Nets. Harden out. How long did that last? 2 years? Like, it's just, it makes me laugh.
That is
makes me laugh, Brian.
You've got 2 head cases.
It doesn't matter. They were excellent players.
If a team has a chance to get a super team, they're going to go with it. They're not going
to.
They're not going to jump on nobodies and hope that it works out. That's Mark Cuban's way, and that's the issue in Dallas. He gets the cheaper players.
So Phoenix
now
Phoenix has a super team.
They work out.
Phoenix has a super team.
I'm not saying they have a super team.
What about Milwaukee?
They have a damn good team.
They have a good team, but do they have a super team, Brian? Do they have LeBron James? Do they have KD?
If it's LeBron James, no, but they have some good ass players.
But that's what a super team would be. It would be KD going to Milwaukee, right? It would be the guy it would be guy in the Pelicans, right? That hasn't played a game in God knows how long, getting healthy and then requesting a trade to Milwaukee.
Well, they're talking about him going to LA, but I think he's a big ass bust, in my opinion.
So what I'm trying to get at here is where the Bucks didn't have a super team, they won a championship.
Well, Yeah, they also
So,
faced the Phoenix Suns last year, who were injured as well.
right. But did Phoenix have a super team to get there? Nope.
No, I'm not
Like
saying you have to
I
have a super
just
team. I'm just saying if teams have an opportunity to get a super team, they're going to do it. That's the
I
NBA
think my
for
thing is
the
I think
last couple of years.
my argument here is I think the super team is going away. Why? Because these guys are getting old and they're not worth it anymore. LeBron isn't worth it
Well,
anymore.
no, that's
KD is a bust. From what we all know right now, he can't even stay on the court. So, with all that being
wait. You
said,
saying KD, Kevin Durant?
no, not KD.
Oh my
AD.
gosh.
AD.
Oh,
So
I was
Kev,
gonna say,
no,
Jeff. I was
Kevin
gonna say,
Durant.
wait,
No,
God,
Kevin Durant
you're
can stay on
smoking
the
some.
Kevin Durant can stay on the court. Paul George can't.
Kevin Durant's a
So,
beast. I hate him, but he's a beast. Look, no, but you
with all
can't look
that
at the
being said,
Lakers
with all
spell
that
and
being
say
said,
that it's over.
I think the era of that is done because a
Look,
lot of these younger players are playing better than they are.
well, and then eventually these younger players will join together, and then it'll be another super
Will
team.
they?
Yes,
I mean,
they
I don't
will.
know. I don't know,
Like
Brian.
if you like, yeah, they will. It'll happen. That's what the NBA is.
We all thought what's his face was going to leave Portland, and he didn't leave. Everybody was like, "Oh, he's going to go to Los Angeles." Kawhi was going to go to Los Angeles to play the Lakers.
Yeah,
Come on.
you're using one example. Like you're using one example of the
There's
Lakers
too many
failure.
moving pieces with
And
these guys.
we
Like
won a
it's
championship with that team.
yeah,
So it wasn't a bust. We did win.
right.
This year, yes, definitely. Um I hope you're right, Jeff.
Last year,
I,
yes, too. You
I
didn't win
hope
last year.
I hope you're right. Well, just because you don't win every year doesn't mean it's a bust every single season.
Well, when
You
you're a
actually
Laker
got
fan,
you
it is
don't
that is the
don't give
number
me that,
one.
Jeff.
Come
Okay,
on.
I am
I'm
being
not
real with
wearing this
you.
hat for a
If
reason,
your
Brian.
if your
When you are
expectation, Jeff,
uh-uh.
is if your
No.
expectation is Super Bowl every year or bust, that's a horrible expectation.
When you have the legacy that you guys have as a franchise, it definitely
That's
is.
horrible.
Especially when you spent the money that you spent on these guys. How was
We
it
didn't spend no
not
money last year. We didn't spend no money. We had young players on no contracts.
this year?
Oh well, this year, yes, it's a bust. Last
Okay,
year,
thank
it
you.
wasn't so
So
bad.
you're going to tell me that anyone that expected the Lakers to go to the finals this year were crazy?
I'm not going to say crazy, but you can.
I mean,
No,
come on.
look. I'm not talking about the season. This season, yes. Last
Sure.
season, I'm not. Last season, different
In
general.
general, when
I
it
do not
comes to
expect my teams to win the championship every single year. That is a
Brian, it's been
expectation they're
instilled
not
in
going
your
to meet.
in the Lakers in the Laker Army's
I'm
brain
not
for
the
years
Laker
because of
army. I don't
Kobe,
care about
because of
that.
all that stuff that they've done for all those years.
I don't care
It's
about that.
instilled in it. You look for it. It's like, okay, we got to get to at least get to the playoffs, get to the playoffs, get to the finals. Let's do it. Let's get to the finals. Like it should be, especially with a storied franchise that has had success recently. I'm not talking about BS Cowboy fans that haven't won anything in 20 something years. I'm talking about a team who actually has won championships. Y'all won one 2 years ago.
Yeah, and we made the playoffs
So it
since
should
then.
be
This year,
instilled in
this
your
year,
brain to
no,
go to a finals every season
I am a
until something
realist.
happens, until they blow it up, Brian, until they
I am a
blow it up.
realist fan. This
I know you're
season,
a
I
realist fan.
agree. I don't this season, I agree. Complete bust. We don't make the playoffs. We don't get into. I don't care about the play-in game. We don't actually get into a playoff series. Complete bust. It's been a laughable experience. But I do not expect my team to win every year. I just don't. I'm a realist fan. I look at what is on the team. I told you Russell Westbrook wouldn't work. I knew. I even told Laker fans LeBron James is not the number one. Our number one guy is Anthony Davis, and he can't even stay healthy. I did not expect this team to win a championship. Did I expect them to compete in the playoffs? Yes. They're going to fail that expectation. But I do not expect the Lakers to win a championship every year, regardless of what other Laker fans think.
Did you expect it with Kobe?
Every single year? Kobe and Shaq,
Phil.
I did. Kobe, Phil, and Shaq, I did. When Shaq left, I was like, man, I don't know. I didn't even think we were going to win with Paul Gasol. I thought he was too soft at times to win, but we got the job done without Shaquille O'Neal. Which, as a fan, I take a look at my team and who's on it. I take a look at Green Bay when we come talking to football. Take a look at Green Bay next year. Well, who the hell are we throwing the ball to? That's going to be a hit on the offensive side. You've got to take these things in. You cannot just expect.
Right.
And I get it. I get what you're saying. There's a lot of Yankee fans that expect World Series or bust.
But they expect
Laker
it from the
fans that expect
organization.
that.
They expect it from the organization. They expect the coach to care. They expect the players to care.
Right.
They expect the organization to do what they need to do to win a championship. Whether it's spending money or drafting, it doesn't matter. Like,
I get.
it's
I
you got to
get
do what you got to do. And that's what I'm
I
saying.
get that.
The Laker fans just watched their team and LeBron James and AD laugh. Laugh at them losing and Luka showing them how horrible that team looked the other day. And they're laughing.
They don't care.
Getting paid millions of
they don't care.
dollars, slapping that organization in the face and going, well, that's it. And it's
LeBron
like,
James.
I'm sorry. But that is the GD Bus put that together too. It's not just him.
No.
It can't be.
This is LeBron James,
Right.
GM. Okay,
But
he does this everywhere
paying
he goes.
the bills.
Okay, I don't care. LeBron James
She
makes
thought
the
the
calls.
coach
Now,
would be all right, I guess. We all know that was probably a problem. Like, there has to be accountability. Even in the Yankee organization, I do the same thing. They don't spend now like they used to. Hal is cheap penny pinching dude. Like, I see it, and it's like,
look,
you don't. Why? Your
I'm not letting
organization's too big.
LeBron. I'm not letting LeBron off the hook. LeBron goes somewhere, he changes the team, gets what he wants, gets the coach he wants. If they win, oh, LeBron's so good. If they lose, it's the organization. This is on LeBron James. I'm not giving him a free fall. GD Bus actually stood up to LeBron when he said, I want to trade Russell Westbrook, stood up to her and said, no, we're not doing that. This is the guy you wanted. This is the guy we traded a lot of players for, and you want to trade him away to Houston Rockets for Paul Wall or whatever. And I'm like, that guy's not even very good anymore. What are you doing? Yeah, GD Bus did step forward and say, no, LeBron. That's probably the first time he's ever been told no in his life. This guy's openly talked about playing on a different team with his son. LeBron James doesn't care anymore in LA. I think it's time to blow it up with LeBron. I think hopefully you can keep Anthony Davis and hopefully he can be healthy. I don't know, but it's time for LeBron James to go, in my opinion. And people are gonna be like, "Oh, you're crazy. He scores a lot of points." Yeah, but what else? I mean, if we have nobody to go around him, then it doesn't really matter. One guy's not going to make it.
You have a player, right? And this is why I like Luka Doncic. Luka Doncic, I think, will look at a team and go, does this team work together? And I think we saw it with Porzingis. I think Porzingis was a problem. There are multiple videos showing where Luka passed it to Porzingis and he completely looks disinterested. Just pass it and kind of just looks the other way, doesn't pay attention, because I don't think Porzingis was a player that was working on the team and making the team better. And I think Luka sees that. And there's a huge difference between somebody like Luka and LeBron. I don't think LeBron gives two craps what he has piece-wise. I think if one piece isn't working, get rid of that, go on another piece. It's like throwing darts at a dartboard. Which one's going to stick?
LeBron thinks he's good enough that it doesn't matter, right?
Right.
He thinks he's good enough that it doesn't matter what they have. They'll win without him. And back in the day, he took one of the worst teams in the NBA to the championship. Did they win it? No.
Right.
He can't do that anymore. He can't do that night in and night out anymore. It's not that player, and it's because he's old or he's getting older. And look, LeBron James is a good. I don't really care for LeBron James, honestly. I don't like. I mean, I've never had a guy on my team I really didn't like until LeBron James. He won his championship. It's great. I don't like his antics. I don't like he flops like crazy. I don't like his attitude. I just don't like it. Is he our best chance of winning? I guess. I mean, what else are we going to do? But is it time to blow it up? I think it is. LA will probably hold on to him and try and find something they can do next season. But I hope you're right about the super team thing, because the super team is what kind of killed a lot of my interest in the NBA. And now that teams are, kind of not being a super team anymore. They've gotten two stars on the team.
Getting
it's
exciting.
Kind of mellowed out a little bit. It's getting more excited.
Right.
With it now. I feel for my buddy. he's been on the show before. It's been a while, but he is a Utah Jazz fan. And every year I'm like, it don't matter, bro. You're gonna lose in the playoffs. It don't matter. The Suns look really good this year. I like this team last year, and what talked about last season when they were beating people and they beat the Lakers. And um, when I watched that team play, I saw the most complete team basketball play. Their head coach had them playing together, playing the system, playing their game, and they just it's like they never stopped for last season and continued. We could see a Phoenix Suns versus Milwaukee rematch, Jeff, and see if that turns out any different. I would like to see that again as well. And I like Luka Doncic. I think he's, like I said, top 5, top 3 player in the league. I really think that Mark Cuban needs to give him some more pieces. That's what I want to see. I want to see one more star, right? I want to see one more guy in there.
I do, but I do
But
think it has to be a star that Luka picks, because he knows the team well, and he's very, very. I mean, they're playing cohesive right now. It's
yeah.
insane. It's
Well,
like they're all on the same page,
that's
and
what
so
Luka's really good at.
right.
Yeah.
And again, it can't just be anybody.
It's got to
Like,
be a
it can't
team
just,
guy.
oh, just go get Harden.
No, no, no.
Will it work?
I
Like,
think
I don't know. Like,
well,
it's just
him and Joker
eh,
are really good
right,
friends. So I think that would. I think you need a bigger guy down low to help on defense that can score points. And now big guys are shooting threes, so you wouldn't have to really worry about that. I
right.
just want to see some more help for Luca, and I don't want to see the same struggle Dirk had of not getting
I
anybody
like the
there.
trade that they made. The
And
trade that they made has actually been helping the team. I think that the Mavericks that we know back then with the Dirk stuff, I think, is a different Mavericks organization today.
well, that's what I said. Like when
So
you yeah, they brought in Nico Harrison. He's 1 for 1 right now on his trades. He made one trade. It's actually worked out. When they
right,
first made the trade, I said they, they didn't really do much. These guys are actually working, and that's because these guys are open to playing with Luca. And
right,
like I said, my biggest concern and my biggest disappointment with Porzingis was he's supposed to be a second star, but when Luca went off the court, Porzingis never took over the game. He never was like, "Hey, give me the ball in my hand." That's what a second star does. LeBron James sits on the bench. Anthony Davis gets the ball. He never did that. I'm like, why is he not? Why is he not doing this? What is going on? Something was missing. He's not a team player. I don't think. I think it
right.
was he
No, and I
wanted to,
don't think it was.
he wanted to be the star, and it was Luca's team, and he could go somewhere else like Washington. That's why he should have stayed in New York. Be happy in New York. The basketball team's not going to win, but he was getting his stuff. But so they traded him away. The trade worked out well for him. These players have come in and played really well.
Right,
And when you see the Dallas Mavericks, you see other guys like Smith step up, and you see him where it's every other night someone stepping up. And you like that. I want to see some more consistency out of those guys to step up on a more consistent nightly basis. But they are playing really well. Kudos to the front office. Kudos to Nico Harrison, and kudos to Jason Kidd. So far, it's looked
and I
like he's changed
also
things around so far. Not as like a championship basketball team, but he's changed things around as his horrible coaching style that he had in Milwaukee, and we kind of didn't know if he could redeem himself. And so far, right now, there's a lot of players talking really good about him. He's learned
right.
some things how to talk to players and how to treat players, and it looks like it's working out for Dallas right now. And I just want to see Mark Cuban give him some help. That's all I want.
And I think Mark Cuban is definitely going to start giving help, and I think it's just going to be very calculated help. It's going to be like, Luca, you've played around this guy against this person. Is this somebody you could play with? Or Luca, you were at the All-Star game, right? And you worked with this person. Would he help this team? Not just you, but everyone else, And so I think if they work on that kind of thing, I think it's only going to help the team and benefit the team. It's interesting because even as much as all these other players are playing well around him, Luca has changed his game. Um, he's not just going left; he's also going right.
Right.
He's not being a predictable player, and I think now that he can do multiple different things, he's very difficult to guard.
Oh,
Even more so,
I saw him make a play.
even more now than last year. So
What's mind-boggling with Luca is he's not a very fast player, but he still gets where he wants to go with his
Right.
body. His body control is fantastic. He made a play the other day. The defense guy was all low. There's nothing much more the defensive guy could have done. Drains a fadeaway sinker in his face. I'm like, man, that was nice. And he just like, what can I say?
He's learning a little bit of the Dirk shot, so it's
Right.
I'm like horrible. That's a horrible shot because it's so unguardable.
It is horrible. You cannot guard it. All right, Jeff. Well, that's our spotlight of the week. NBA recap. We got a little heated there. Fantastic segment. The NBA playoffs will start Saturday, April 16th. Well, the biggest question I think a lot of players have is, or a lot of people have, will the Lakers make it? If they don't make it, big time bust out there. If they do make it, we'll see how far they can get. Saturday, April 16th is the playoffs. We've got some really good matchups, and we'll jump back into the NBA bracket and NBA news stuff coming forward here. Jeff, it is time for
Headlines.
All right, guys, the headlines of the week. We talk about different subjects. We give you usually 5 topics that happened this week that are all about the buzz, Jeff. And the buzz this week, Jeff, number 1 has to be Bruce Arians stepping down as the head coach and will take a front office job.
He got fired.
Now, yeah. now, Jeff, my buddy texts me, Bruce is out in Tampa, Bowles is in. I was like, they fired Bruce Arians? Oh my gosh, what in the world? Or they forced him to retire. But then I was like, oh, he's taking a front office job. He's basically stepping down. Todd Bowles will take over. Bruce says there's no rift with Brady, and he's happy to promote Bowles. I call BS, Jeff. This is also BS of the week. Tom Brady had everything to do with this. Everything to do with this. If you don't think so, you're naive. Tom Brady came in and said, look, I've already had one angry coach in New England forever. I don't want another angry coach again. So if I'm coming back, Bruce has got to go. I think the organization said, I don't want to lose him. This guy brought us the championship. Let's put him in the front office. Let's hide him somewhere in the back. He can, he could be a scout, whatever. And then Todd Bowles gets promoted. This is Tom Brady, all written all over it.
Oh, it's definitely how you won a championship a year ago, basically. And yeah, I don't really see why you would want to change the coach unless that was a stipulation for Brady to come back.
And it very could be,
because maybe Brady was like, I'm done with this guy. He's horrible, blah, blah, blah. Even though I don't know what that means. It seemed like he was doing fine.
It just could be just probably his personality, the way he is.
Maybe.
Tom Brady's at the point of his career where he's like, I'm getting what I want, or I'm not coming back type of,
Yeah.
So I don't know. This is a move you make easily if you're, and the easiest thing right now for them is they already had a guy to replace him. Todd Bowles swoops in. He's a defensive-minded coach. Tom Brady will handle the offense. I don't think they even really need to worry about that. The thing is, Jeff, this is Todd Bowles' second chance. He coached for the Jets. It was a disaster. He was 24-40 with the Jets, and it was the Jets. So you got to give him a little bit of a little bit of a leeway. But 24-4, that's a disaster. This is his second head coaching position. He's learned a lot over those years since he's been a head coach.
Can screw this one up.
Yeah, you already have a good defense. You're going to have Tom Brady. I don't think you can really mess this up. And so Tom Brady he's calling the shots. He's the LeBron James of the NFL. Oh man! All right, number 2, Jeff. Bobby Wagner signs with the Super Bowl defending champs, the Los Angeles Rams. They said, hey, we lost Von Miller. We've got to sign Bobby Wagner. Now, Bobby Wagner's good football player, okay. Bobby Wagner got overpaid. I don't think anybody else was giving him 5 years, $50 million. He's 31 years old. He's getting up there for a linebacker. Jeff, do you think this was a good get, or do you think this was a little bit of a overpaid job, a reach job for The Los Angeles Rams.
I think it was a good get because the Cowboys didn't get Bobby Wagner. Um,
A good get for the
and
Rams, Jeff.
oh man, and
Not for the
they just the Cowboy fans really. That's all you ever heard. That's all you were hearing on YouTube for probably about a week was like, oh, we might get Bobby Wagner. Oh, something's happening. Oh, he's talking about something on Twitter. Oh, and he ended up going to the Rams. The Rams don't care at this point. They're going to spend what they need to spend. Overpaid, sure, why not? The Cowboys at one point offered one of their players $10 million a year, and he kind of spat at it or something, and they restructured or something. I don't remember, but I mean, it's not like the Cowboys. The Cowboys could have easily probably got him. Would it have been a better than nothing? Yeah, probably. Their pass rush is depleted. They need somebody in there. So it's not their defense is suspect now, I think, because of all these non-picks. What?
Jeff, we're talking about the Rams. We're not talking about the Cowboys.
I know we're talking about, but the reason I talk about it is because that Cowboys were linked to him and Von Miller. That's the whole thing that was going on all offseason. And then Von Miller went to the Buffalo Bills. So he basically said, I would not like to come back to Dallas and in my hometown. I watched a whole YouTube video yesterday. It was like 17 minutes long. Von Miller's entire free agency thing. It was crazy. He was talking to Dallas at one point.
Mm-hmm.
So I can say right now, it's probably very possible Bobby Wagner was talking to Dallas, but Dallas doesn't want to do anything. So he goes to the Rams.
Well,
the Rams don't care. They'll spend and spend. They'll get rid of draft picks. They don't, this team is looking to try to win today. They're not looking 5 years down the road. So,
see, here's the problem. Here's the problem. The Buffalo Bills overpaid Von Miller big time.
Sure.
Horribly overpaid.
Sure. That was
Bobby
a straight
Wagner
up cash deal for Von.
Got overpaid. Now,
oh, Brian froze. Oh no. You're frozen. Come back in.
where did I go?
You're here. You're back. You're back.
Okay. All right. Sorry. When you're trying to win now, you want to make those win now moves. You want to maybe go get a Von Miller, maybe overpay him, right?
Sure.
To get that guy there. And Bobby Wagner overpaid, 31. He's a little older. Hell, Von Miller's older than he is. But these are win now moves. And I can settle with my team I can settle overpaying a guy for a win now move. I can do that.
Sure.
By hands down. And I think the Cowboys fans would want their team to, hey, if we got to overpay to get this guy here to change our team to make an impact, let's do that. But the Cowboys don't want to spend that money. And that could be an issue. Now, Bobby Wagner going to the Rams was a Von Miller replacement. Bobby Wagner, Jeff, is a veteran linebacker. He will be playing pretty good there for them. Will he play better than Von Miller? I don't think so. And we look back at his stats, he doesn't get sacks. He got 1 sack last year, 3 sacks the year before. He's never had a
is he more of a run stopper kind of he's player? Okay. Clog up a lane.
He is
prevent the running back from getting out.
He'll make a lot of tackles. He had 170 combined tackles last year.
Okay.
He's around the football. He's that kind of guy. He's only had one season that was back in 2013 where he's had 5 sacks. That's his highest in one season. So he's not a guy to get to the quarterback.
Right.
Now maybe Seattle will use him differently. Maybe the Rams will blitz him more. We'll see what happens. I think
they have 2 other pass rushers, so I mean maybe they could use Bobby Wagner in a different way than he was using Seattle. We know Pete Carroll's an idiot, so
yeah. And I do think it's a good get. I do think it was a overpay.
Of course. But that's the market. That's exactly what happened with the market. We saw it all freaking off season with these NFL players. One after another, record-breaking contract signed, record-breaking contract signed, record-breaking. So, I mean, they were just resetting the market daily.
Well,
Usually you get maybe one or two of those as an off season. We were having them every single day, like for weeks.
you know what's funny too? Since you want to talk about Cowboys, um, it looks now like the Cowboys misread the wide receiver market because
Oh,
they let Cooper go. He was paying
yeah.
20. They didn't want to pay him 20 million. Well, guys are getting paid 30 now. Devontae Adams, the one of the best wide receivers in the league, getting paid 28.5. So it's like, well, man, Amari Cooper looked pretty cheap.
Yeah.
So, they're really hoping. You know what's crazy?
They're hoping the draft is good, I guess. I don't know.
They
What are
do
they hoping for?
now. They do draft well. I'm not gonna lie. The Cowboys have hit on a lot of draft picks the last couple of years. That's one thing that they do pretty good, and that they can have in their back pocket. Maybe that's why they're so frugal with their money sometimes. Is that we'll just draft a guy. That's a dangerous way to live.
That
But
is.
was it Joey Gallup? What's his face? The third wide receiver they just signed. Gallup for the
Yeah.
is
I
it
know
Joey?
what
It's
you're
not
talking about.
Joey
It's Gallup. It's Gallup
Gallup.
something, but I don't
His
remember his
last name's
first name.
Gallup.
Right.
Anyways, he's
All the
already
Cowboy
gonna
fans are like, "You son of a."
yeah, he's already gonna miss 2 to 3 weeks. He tore his ACL. You're hoping that he's really healthy after those 2 3 weeks.
Sure.
You're putting a lot of pressure on CeeDee Lamb, which I think he can handle. He's a really good wide receiver.
Yeah.
You resign your blanket there, and but not Jarwin, but Schultz is your tight end. I just don't know. You're really putting a lot of hope that Gallup is healthy, and that he's going to pan out. What if he comes back and tears his ACL again? What if he's never, he doesn't cut like he used to? And they're hoping that that guy can step in for Amari Cooper, or actually Lamb step in for Cooper. But they did bring in a third wide receiver. That's pretty good. I just don't know. They're putting a lot of hopes on the wide receiver groups, and we'll see if that works out or not. Also, speaking of the Dallas Cowboys here, we do have a story number 3. Excuse me, real quick. Sorry, something caught in my throat.
It's all
Jerry
that Cowboy talk.
Jones. Oh. All right. Well, Jerry Jones wants the judge. He asked the judge to dismiss the case against him with his daughter that we found out about a couple weeks ago. Says he's being extorted. Now, an article came out today talking about just how much money Jerry Jones has given this mother and this daughter. And when the first report came out, it was like 300,000. And you're like, well, that's not a lot of money. I mean, like that's average man. That's quite a bit. But your father is worth $10 billion, Jeff, that doesn't add up, right? You're like, that's not a lot of money. Well, Jeff, it actually turns out Jerry Jones has given this girl over $3 million. He has set up funds. He has paid for her SMU college degree, where she has been a successful person. She's 25. She's been, I think she helps runs campaigns or something like that. She's successful.
Yeah.
My question was why. I get it. If you got 300,000, you're like, this is not a lot of money. If he's paid over $3 million, what do you want out of this? What is the end game for this? Is this just publicity with your name on it?
There's also something very weird about it too, where they're not unsealing documents. There's something about that too. Like he doesn't want things unsealed. And I'm like, well, that's kind of strange. Why? If it's nothing, right? Or if maybe you're thinking you're being extorted, right?
He's
It's,
basically admitting he's her daughter without admitting
exactly.
he's her daughter.
Exactly.
Which is weird.
Which is, I mean, and again, not to like, if it was if the shoe was on the other foot, right, and it was me, I'd probably be like, well, I'd like to know my dad, like besides the fact that he is a successful owner of a $1 billion franchise, like maybe I'd like to know him before he dies, like actually know him as a person, personally know him.
I know.
So who knows?
Maybe. Who knows?
Maybe. I
I
mean,
don't think
if
it's
the
for
shoe
that.
was on the
But,
other foot, would you?
well, yeah. I mean,
Okay. Well,
but not everyone thinks the same. You know, I don't
but
know.
we don't. But
I just don't
we don't know
see.
what's going on in her head either. So it's
I
kind
don't.
of like
Well, yeah. I just don't see the end game here. You think he's going to invite her over for Thanksgiving, Jeff, or Christmas?
Well, I mean,
You know
I
what I mean?
think
Like,
the end game is the fact that this has been concealed for so long. Like that he has possibly been holding this back for so long, and this is another kind of, very successful rich person being able to kind of slide it under the table, right? And
oh,
not anyone knows, and I think that's
there's
kind
a
of
lot of
messed
those out
up.
there, babe.
Right.
Or
But
Jeff,
we're
there's a lot of those
seeing
babies.
this, we're seeing it firsthand
Yeah.
with the fact that he doesn't want anything disclosed. He doesn't want anyone to know about it. He doesn't want any of these things unsealed. And eventually, guess what? It will be unsealed and we will all know. And then basically, it will kind of confirm what maybe some people have been saying about Jerry Jones for so X number of years. I mean, this isn't the first time I've heard this kind of
No,
stuff. And
there's
this
been
is no,
pictures.
no, no,
I
no.
mean, there's this.
This
I mean,
not only that, I've actually heard stories of people who've actually been to dinners with the person. So it's like very interesting where you kind of go, aha, aha. And there's actually a rumor about stuff that happened between him and Jimmy Johnson kind of involves things like this. Like, and so it's kind of weird, and
uh, there's
interesting.
a
So
lot of that stuff that happened behind the scenes that you're like, man,
but it's the Dallas Cowboys. It's different.
I wish I could have. I wish I could be a fly on the wall in that meeting, right? I just don't know what the end game is here for her. If she wins, what are they gonna make? What are they gonna make Jerry do? They can make him pay more money. Um, they can't
They're
force
gonna make him
him.
apologize live.
They can't force him to put her in the wheel. That's what I was thinking. I was like, well, maybe she wants to
No,
be.
I don't think that's gonna
Can't do
happen.
that. I'm just. What's the end? I just want to ask her, what's the end game with this? What is the ultimate outcome that you want? Because like I said, I don't
Maybe
think.
it's the acknowledgement that that he's your dad and he can't deny it anymore. Like I think we're done. It's
Well, I
done. We all
mean,
know. We all know, and it's done.
we've
There's no doubting her. If we know for a fact that this is a real thing, no one will ever doubt her.
right, and
And
yeah.
and then but everyone will look at Jerry in a different way. So, you know,
Well, I
they
mean,
will.
I think a lot of people look at Jerry in a different way.
Eh,
Some, but
surprised he's still around. Oh, no, I'm just saying. I'm
dang,
playing.
that's
I'm playing.
ooh. Um. Anywho, all right, Jeff. Well, number 4. We've done a lot of cowboy talk on here. Number 4, Jeff. We get a little baseball, man. We
Yeah.
hold on, wait for it, Jeff. We get a little, we get a little, we get a little baseball going on. All right, look at that, boom, look at that. We talking baseball. All right. Um.
Brian lives in
Yes.
Los Angeles, and he is a Oakland A fan,
Oh.
so he went
Oh
from
gosh.
football to baseball.
Gosh. No, don't throw the Oakland A's on me like that.
Uh,
Now, Jeff, we got some bad news. Well, not we. I mean, I don't give a dang. The Mets fans do.
the Mets fans would definitely get very upset about this.
Oh man, they got some bad news for the Mets. That's Jacob deGrom will miss the opening day with stress reaction in his shoulder, and probably more than just the opening day, but just one game. It's like whatever. This guy's an absolute beast, Jeff.
Oh yeah,
Probably the best or one of the best pitchers in baseball. His ERA last year was a 1.08. Okay. For those
he
that
was
don't
also
know,
injured a little bit last year too.
yes, he was.
He
He
was at
seems to be
mid-season,
that
towards the end of the
trend.
season. Yeah,
That trend. He only pitched 15 games last year. He only pitched 12 games the year before that. Then the 19 he pitched 32. So a little bit of injury history with him, which is not good because when he's pitching,
no,
he's dang good. He's posted ERAs the last 4 years of 1, 2, 2, and 1. That's just amazing. And for you, the guys that don't know what an ERA is in baseball, it stands for earned run average. That's how many runs he averages per game. So
per 9
it's
innings.
per 9 innings. That's insane. The lower the better, obviously. Fantastic pitcher. Bad news for them. When you have a guy that continues to get hurt, you're just hoping Man, you're hoping that he can snap out of it at some point. You see those long
Pitchers
stretches of games.
pitchers are the worry one because if it's consistent, it will plague them at some point again, and it could even result in another injury somewhere else. But
Tommy John surgery and all.
yeah, and Tommy John's bad. They could come back better, a lot better, but Tommy John's you're out for a definite year. That happened to Luis Severino for the Yankees. He was out
Basically tearing an
for an entire
ACL.
year. We didn't see him all last season except towards the end of the year, and it was actually trash because nothing happened last year with the Yankees. We went to playoffs and do anything. So it's just kind of like Severino's whole year last year was basically bullpen sessions
Yep.
because it was just he came back from Tommy John. And so now this year we're finally getting a full year of Severino after a couple of years, really a year and a half, really, if I think about it. So Tommy John surgery is bad, but the fact that a pitcher gets hurt over and over again, that's a bad deal. Because it's just not, it doesn't set it up well for the future. Hopefully, this doesn't plague DeGrom even more. Luckily, it's happening at the beginning of the season. That's when you want
Right.
any of this stuff to really
Right.
happen. And luckily, it's not bad. Like, luckily, this is not like, oh, he's out for the year. Oh, he's out for 6 months. He won't play until after the All-Star break. Like that kind of stuff is where you kind of go, yeah, I don't want him out then, because you got to readjust. You got to go and do bullpen sessions. You got to go play simulated ball games. You got to go down to AAA and play with those guys for a little bit. You got to do all this kind of stuff to rehabilitate yourself back to the majors. And by the time that happens, you may or may not even be in the playoffs. And there's no point. I mean, at that point, I'd shut a player down. They'd shut anybody down. Or same with, any team for that matter. Especially if you're not in it and they've been out for that long, I wouldn't. You'd be better chance to restart in next year. But DeGrom, luckily, nothing crazy. That's gonna really set him back too much. So the season's gonna start. Maybe he'll miss a week or so, and that's it. So maybe even a little more than that, but I don't see him being out too long with this kind of injury. They'll definitely shut it down. Okay, we need to just chill. That's their guy. That's their guy, man. Mic's off.
I've done that a couple times. Speaking of that, number 5 headline of the week is opening day for baseball is April 7th. We are 6 days away from some Major League Baseball, baby. I'll throw my Ranger cap on, get excited for some baseball. Now, they have 8 games that day, and I'm looking at this and I'm going, yeah, not a great lineup to start off. The biggest game is going to be Red Sox, Yankees.
Of course.
That is the
Of
biggest
course.
rival. It's in New York. That'll
Good.
go well. You've got Brewers, Cubs, Astros, Angels, Padres, Diamondbacks, Reds, Braves.
Brewers Cubs might be pretty good. Brewers Cubs might be pretty good.
Yeah. Mets,
The Brewers
Nationals.
are pretty good. Like the Brewers are not a bad team. They that guy Yelich, or what was his name? He's just a crazy Yelich. He's freaking amazing. Like, and so they don't have too bad of a team. Like they're not like a super, crazy like the Dodgers, right? But like they're not bad either. So I think them and the Cubs, that looks like that might be actually a pretty good game.
Hey, Dodgers made a trade today. Did you see that?
No, they're still doing trades.
Yeah, let me look that up. They traded, unless it's a fake one, but it popped up on MLB.com.
If it was it today?
Yes.
It could be fake, dude. Come on now.
It's on ML. No, it's straight up on MLB.com. It says,
What?
Yes. Let's see. The Dodgers, they traded for Craig Kimbrell. They traded AJ Pollock, their outfielder, for right-handed closer, in Craig Kimbrell.
Craig Kimbrell's really good,
and he's really good.
Yeah,
that's why I was like, okay, this doesn't seem fake. So no, did it happen today?
I guess it did happen. They're still doing trades and moves. I know. So it's like, it's interesting, but yeah, it's going to be a crazy season. I'm excited. I can't wait. Definitely going to be watching opening day. I think is that a night game? Is that the Yankees and Red Sox night game?
I'm not sure it didn't have the times on there, but I will look for you real quick.
This should be a night game. So
It probably will be. I mean, trying to find the
I
schedule here.
I think it's like a 6 o'clock, maybe Eastern or 7 o'clock Eastern.
Oh, here's schedule. My bad.
What's great is for baseball fans is now we get actually some good nighttime games because there's no football and basketball's basically ending. So
Right.
we get some good games coming out of this. And well, I think we're also gonna get. Are we gonna get the Field of Dreams
Wow.
game this year?
I'm not sure. I think we do. I think they were gonna add that to the regular schedule, and I love
Okay.
that. I thought that was
That's great.
fantastic.
That's awesome. I love that. That was so good. Even though we lost, it was great. It was back and forth too. We were hitting. Everybody was just
Oh,
going
it was
crazy, hitting home
insane.
runs.
The Jeff, you're gonna be very disappointed.
It's not a primetime game, is it?
It's a 105. It's the first
That's
game
a
to start off.
horrible,
It's the first game to start off the season.
horrible. I mean, I'm sure they'll
I
play,
get why,
but is it what day
but
is it on? Is it like on a Wednesday or like
Thursday.
Thursday? Yeah, I could see that. Friday
Yeah.
night baseball, I could see them playing. They wish they probably will. They might even play the next game. That might be
Friday night baseball. We got the Rangers and the Blue Jays, baby.
so. That's a weird. Okay,
I mean, there's a couple. There's like 4 or 5 night games.
okay,
So no, I'm
huh?
this is the first time in a long time I've been really excited for baseball and I'm super excited, man. I cannot wait. We got to get MLB the Show going,
Yeah,
man. I need to get it. Um, but Jeff, that concludes headlines of the week here. Um, let's what is in your locker, sir? This is the end of our segment. What is or our show? What is in your locker? Um, go ahead and take my video off as you do that.
Loop. Switch over. So this is anybody who's watching. This is a segment where we just talk about what's going on in our life, what's what we're excited for, movies, games, TV shows, doesn't really matter, whatever just kind of comes to mind, even work. So work's been crazy. Been getting a lot of stuff done work wise. I have been at my new job for maybe a couple of months, and so it's been pretty good. Learning a lot. I get along with my coworkers pretty well, so no complaints there. um, I've been playing a lot, unfortunately. I know it's Dance with the Devil, but I've been playing Madden, and um, so it is what it is. I have to play it because there's nothing else. What are you gonna play? There's no football games out there. So Russell Wilson, I got the updated roster. I've been playing with a lot of the updated pieces. Learning how to throw with him is different because Peyton Manning was also a different player too. So it's kind of like when you're playing a baseball game too. Like you have to learn that pitcher's movements because some are different. Some are slow and some aren't. So it's just it's interesting. Played a little bit of that. I haven't been playing any more Horizon. I probably will play some more Horizon Zero Dawn Horizon Forbidden West this weekend and play more of that. This weekend, I don't know what we're really doing. I think we got to go run some errands. She wants to go to a bookstore and grab a book to help her with her writing. We're still waiting back from this publishing house for her book, so it's kind of interesting. I know she's towards the end. There's only been like a couple people left, so she's waiting on that. She ordered some books. She's going to sell them at a thing in the summertime, which is kind of cool. So there's that. My mom informed me that she's getting laid off, which we already knew was coming because she gets laid off this time every year. So it's a seasonal kind of thing, but she's gonna have a lot more time, a lot more free time. So we're gonna go see her again. And I just texted her, so I gotta make some actual stuff for my sister's graduation party, which will be interesting. So there's that. It's just been me chilling out. The weather's really nice in the 50s. I think in the low 40s at night. So we keep the windows open. And then during the day, it's been in the 60s. So I think we're probably going to go on a walk, get some fresh air tomorrow, and really just chill out. It's been interesting. I had to rush today to go to the pharmacy because they close at 6, and then they're off on all the weekends now, at least the one we go to. And so it's like a mess because if I don't get there on time, then I can't get anything, and it's a train wreck. All because people just walked out and quit. Um, so so been fighting that stuff. I haven't watched anything movie wise. I might subscribe to Hulu because they have some good documentaries. That I haven't subscribed to Hulu in years. So I did cancel Paramount Plus. So because I canceled Paramount Plus, I may subscribe to Hulu just to offset that because they have some interesting documentaries and docu series. One of them is about a lady who I think she supposedly enticed a guy to kill himself through texts. I've watched the documentary about that, but it's an actual show, which is interesting. And then the other one is also about Elizabeth. I can't remember her, but she had developed this medical thing, and it was a documentary about it, and it was a medical. I think it's on. If anybody wants to watch it on HBO, but she developed some blood sampling techniques that you didn't need to take that much blood to sample for various diseases, even though that doesn't make a whole lot of sense and it was and very impractical. But she got millions of dollars to Silicon Valley and had all these investors just going crazy. And so they did a show on that on Hulu, which is kind of interesting. And so I was like, I want to see that too. So I might subscribe to that. Other than that, we've just been kind of just chilling out. We may because I don't know how we have Peacock. Somehow we have Peacock. We haven't subscribed to it, but I think it's through our service provider or whatever. So I think we may tune into uh WrestleMania, the laugh. Um, a big laugh because Stone Cold's coming back, and I just think that's ridiculous. But outside of that, baseball, getting excited. Football, yes. Basketball, my wife and I will be watching. She's excited to watch the Mavericks play. We haven't watched them in a playoff game in years. So even when Luca was around last year and stuff, she still didn't really watch. So she's excited. So yeah, I'm ready to watch some playoff stuff, get some football going here. Hopefully we get some draft stuff. I know Brian's got some stuff in the works for draft stuff. So I'm gonna let Brian take over this, talk about what's in his locker. I'm done. Brian, what's in your locker?
All right, buddy. Well, in my locker this week, I have been super excited about baseball, Jeff. I've been watching some spring training, or not watching the games, but following some spring training games. We've had some really good outcomes. The Rangers have been winning a lot there. Hopefully that turns into. I am a Texas Ranger fan. Yes, it turns into some wins on the field. We added Corey Seager. We've added some pieces this season, and we're starting our rebuild around Corey Seager from the Dodgers. And I'm very excited. I learned the Rangers um, farm system is number 9 in Major League Baseball, so we're getting that back up there. I'm excited to see our draft pick this last season, Jack Leiter, coming into Major League Baseball. He's going to be here sooner than later. Fantastic. He was one of the best. It was the best pitcher in the draft, and I'm excited to see him play. So I'm really excited for the Rangers. And
you know what's interesting about that, by the way?
So
there's a guy named Volpe. They were both teammates, and Volpe is number 3 prospect, I think, in like out of the 100 or it's 100, and the Yankees have him. He was like a shortstop. They're
nice.
Really excited about him. So yeah, they were teammates. I just want to give that little tidbit there.
Nice. Yeah, we have I think we got 4 or 5 guys. We got 5 or 6 guys actually in the top 100 in the Rangers right now, and it's fantastic for us. And we're rebuilding that farm system after we traded away for our World Series run, which we ended up losing, which we all know that. No reason to relive that. But I'm super excited for that. And for the longest time, I haven't gone to a Ranger game because the owners refuse to spend money. We got a new ballpark. I haven't been out there yet. I will go this year. the owner spends some money, so I feel like I can spend some money on some tickets and go see them play. I'm excited to see the new stadium. I've been playing cornhole, Jeff. I am addicted. I love cornhole, just chilling out with the buddies. My next door neighbor, we love cornhole, so we'll go out there and we'll play, throw some bags, is what we call it. I had my tax money came in last week. The wife wanted a Wii, Jeff, and I found a Wii at a retro store. There's actually a retro store in Watauga. It's pretty cool. They have all sorts of things. I mean, I found old school Mario games for $70 on 64 and stuff like that. But
I've been to that store before.
There's a lot of cool things in there, and they were booming, man. They were booming. And I bought a Wii, and the reason we bought a Wii, Jeff, $60 or whatever. They don't sell them at GameStop anymore, but $60. My brother-in-law is going to hack it like he did his, and we're gonna have all the Mario games for free. We're gonna have a bunch of the games, GameCube games, 64 games we can get for free. So I'm looking forward to doing that and playing some old school Mario with the wife, and even have the kiddos play some as well. So that's gonna be fun for us when that happens. We got to go to St. Bernardino's where he lives right now. I'm going to drive down there in a couple weekends and get him to do that for us. So that's going to be fantastic.
So he's going to hack it like Nathaniel.
Nathaniel Hackett. Yeah, he's going to hack it like Nathaniel and get the job done. Hopefully. I've been trying to lose some weight, Jeff. I bought some gym equipment and put it in my garage. My garage is going to be the man cave. I'm going to have some gym equipment on one side, TV, couch on the other side, and maybe a dartboard too. But I got a rowing machine, which rowing machines are fantastic workouts, and I got a bike, and I found it for a decent price. So I've been doing those workouts on the daily, except I haven't done one today. But eating healthier for lunch and eating like a rabbit. I've been eating a lot of carrots and stuff, trying to lose some weight, get into some shape. I'm actually going to go play football Sunday, so that ought to be interesting because I'll be sore as heck the next day. But I believe that is just about it, Jeff, for that. And one thing I do want to get into here real quick. I don't know, you're not popping back up. What in the world? My buddy Ryan Sims, he was on here he was actually on here when we predicted our Super Bowl predictions before the playoffs, but
he's in here and in the room with me.
Well,
like, he's like, whoop,
whoop. He listens to all the draft stuff. He listens to draft. It's his favorite thing. And me and he
the draft.
He is the draft. We'll call him the draft when he comes on. No. He is going to give us a breakdown of the top 50 players in the NFL draft. So that's going to be fantastic to talk to him about that. Me and Jeff will usually do a podcast not directly after the draft. That'd be awesome. But usually the next episode will be about the draft. But it's getting that time of year where we're getting into the NFL draft, and there's a billion mock drafts, and I'm wondering what is my team going to do. A lot of stuff. And he's a Cowboys fan, so he wants to talk Cowboys. And I said, let's do the draft first, and then we'll give you another episode where you can talk about Cowboys. And but that's his thing. So I'm excited to have him on here. So we'll tease that in a couple weeks. We're going to do it not right before the draft, probably week before the draft because things do change. So I'm looking forward to that.
I'd love to do an episode that is like
we're all three
us.
On. Yeah.
Well, like we're all watching like the Super Bowl and doing a live reaction. That would be crazy.
That'd be sick. That would be sick.
That's what I'd like to do.
That would be sick. I wish my schedule doesn't allow me to watch the very late games, and it's kind of a pain in the butt. But, we need to do something like
Super
that.
Super Bowl, that may be interesting.
Yeah. Well, I also want to change something on here too. Not on here, but I run our TikTok pages. I have the Outspoken Sportscast page, and I have the Outspoken Food Reviews. I've been doing a couple food reviews. I'm still working out a couple kinks with some things because I'm not a fantastic pro at TikTok like everyone else is. but I'm gonna change it. Yeah, they do all sorts of things, man. I'm like, what in the world? My niece is over here. Cole's daughter is over here, and she knows. I'm like, I'm asking her tips on TikTok. Okay,
Oh
that's
God.
because she knows more than I do. It's crazy. Anyways, it's called the Outspoken Food Reviews. I'm changing it up, guys. It's gonna be called the Outspoken Reviews because I'm gonna do more than food. I'm gonna review food. I'm gonna review movies. I'm going to review items that I bought. I bought with our tax that we came in. I bought a Hoover spot cleaner, and
Nice.
I bought something that's new to the market, Jeff. It's the first ever. Well, not probably the first ever, but it's one of the first vacuum mops. I can vacuum and mop my floor at the same time.
Nice.
So I'm gonna go use that, and I'm going to do little reviews on them and get them out to you. I have a couple metal koozies coming in. Um, I I bought a brewmate, and then I was looking for a koozie that holds everything, and I thought brewmate did that. It holds most things, not everything. And then there's another one's coming in that holds everything. It holds a 12-ounce bottle. It holds a 16-ounce can. It holds a one of those mini seltzer can, whatever. It holds it all. And I'm like, well, I'm going to review these. So I'm changing it. It's the Outspoken Reviews. I can add more things into it as well. So look forward to that change coming up. And we're just trying to give you more shows. Every Friday night, we will have a show. I've got to be better at doing the ones on Tuesday. We're
I
just
look
trying
like
to
I'm
give
a
you more
floating
content,
head.
guys.
I'm a floating
Yeah,
head.
because the black shirt and the black. You got the very dark. Is it
I
is
just
it
knew
is it
that.
is it dark there in Colorado, Jeff?
Yeah, the sun is down. Yes.
Now Jeff lives in
It is
Colorado.
down.
I live in Texas, the great land of Texas. Um, yeah, so we do it. We do this streaming. We stream everywhere. We're streaming right now live to YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter. We are on all podcast platforms. You can find us on Buzzsprout. You can find us on Spotify. You can find us on Apple. You can find us on iHeartRadio. Anywhere you want to look and listen. So
Share, subscribe, like, do what you need to do.
do all those things, guys. We're here for it. If you want to email me at the Outspoken Sportscast at gmail.com. If you want to leave me a message on our Facebook page, you want to get a hold of me anyhow. If you want some content from us, if you want to find me on TikTok and ask questions, please do so. If you want to know my opinion about things, please do so as well. And it doesn't got to be sports related. I don't want no politics. But if it doesn't, if you need a buddy to talk to, a friend to talk to, I am here for you guys. I am all for that. But that's going to be about it, guys. Enjoy your weekend. I am off this weekend. I don't know what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be testing that vacuum floor mop. I'm going to be building probably we bought this big, huge. They call them there's something trees, and they're basically a big storage thing to go in our front where we can put our shoes and hang our keys up and the girls' backpacks and make it look all nice. So I'm going to build that together this weekend and play football on Sunday. But other than that, that's all I got going on this weekend. And I'm just ready to go, ready to enjoy just a couple of days off. So
yeah, me too. Yeah, I just want to say thank everybody for sharing or listening or whatever you're doing right now. And I think we're gonna wrap this one up, man.
Yep, it's episode 108, and we'll be out with episode 109 next week. And like I said, if you want us to talk about anything, just let us know and hit us up. All right, guys. Well, thank you, Jeff, and God bless.
All right, God bless.